right, so it looks like we do have another featured match coming up. Wekko is streaming over at twitch.tv/Wekko, and do you see that link for that, Mr. JJ Abrams?
Yes, sir.
All right. So hard to tell what game or round this is, but it looks early on in the match, 2 resources versus 1. More Ruby, more Lionel Flynn, and more Forge of Holy. This board. Forge, something's happened. Wekko has, by the looks of it, turn 2 put down a Scrap Tech Brawler, a Mimeobot, an Electroid, and turn 1 he tunneled a troop with his Forge of Kato. That is crazy. His opponent on turn 1 played a Shard, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shard versus, I don't know, 6 power.
Yeah. So here comes the second Shard. That troop that is tunneled, I mean, we can see it there, guys. I'm going to avoid talking about it too much, but his opponent can probably safely assume that that is a dwarf, and whenever it comes, or a robot, and whenever it comes up, it will activate the Electroid's ability to attack. Thrawn responds with Crackling Bolt. I've been talking over you all day, JJ. What's going on in this match?
Oh, no, you're doing just fine here. Yeah, we see that Thrawn is just trying to buy himself some time and also reduce the dwarf count so that the Electroid will be offline for a little bit longer here, which ended up mattering because we do see Reactor Bot come up off the top. So now it's just going to be a Mimeobot attack for just 1 instead of the 4 that it could have been. And that is what we see. Thrawn's just going to go ahead and take this damage now.
Yeah, it's more and more explosion coming down. Even though it looks really scary at the moment, it really is just the Mimeobot swinging. And a little bit worth mentioning, Wekko is out of cards. I mean, when that Tunnel Troop comes up, it is a pretty good Tunnel Troop. It is going to activate Electroid, I'll tell you that for free. As long as the Reactor Bot and the Mimeobot stay on the board, Thrawn is in a little bit of trouble, but he's got 6 cards in hand. 7 after drawing, which is how numbers work.
Yeah, so that's how Forge of Kato
Yeah,
can
it
be
is
a very powerful card, but it does...
It forces you to throw a card out of your hand, the Forge of Kato, so...
It's a hefty investment in and by itself, and as you can see in the hand difference, it's... We'll see how this goes, but it's very front-ended, front-loaded.
Worth noting, Thrawn does use another Running Deer, which we talked about earlier when in Aaron Squire's match. Running Deer does have the capability of fixing up the board very, like, that extra health will help him in this battle. He might actually be running a very similar deck to Aaron Squire now that I see this. The top deck from Wekko, I'm going to wait because I believe he will be playing that card. I might be wrong.
I think he maybe waits here because this turn he can attack through. The troll can't block at all.
Well, what I was thinking is... I was thinking things and stuff.
Yeah.
But the troll can't block this turn, and obviously the more turns that a troop isn't on the board, the better for Wekko. Thrawn now gets a chance to respond with another troop. If he has a Wild Shard in hand, this could be the Wrathwood Master Moss. It always could be a Wrathwood Master Moss. That's kind of scary. Again, 5 cards in hand. All he needs to do is stabilize, and he should be able to regain board advantage. If he can remove Mimeobot, Reactor Bot, or Mesmeric Hypno-Scientist, the Electroid can't attack. It's essentially 2 for 1 here, which is strong. Which is strong. Which is strong.
Still waiting.
Yeah, it looks...
I think probably the best. I don't know if Thrawn is playing it, but probably the best card that they could have would be the Cluckadon at this point, right? Well,
yeah, Cluckadon would be really good here. Obviously, that Shard of Savagery takes that away as an option. We'll see here what he's planning on doing by the Shard he takes. I think if that was a Ruby, I would be afraid of here, but because that's a Wild Shard, that's different. Now, We actually see something interesting because now the waiting might hurt Wekko in a very specific manner, and we'll see if that's the case. Because the Stink Troll, for those of you that don't know, is a 3/2 for 3, which can give as a one-shot ability for 0 cost another troop Crush, and every troop with Crush has +1/+1 when a Stink Troll is on the board. So these Stink Trolls just high-fived each other, boom, high five, crush. They were like, let's go crush some guys. It's the yin and yang Stink Troll brothers. They're talking in rhyme. They're giving each other 1/1s all around the board.
There should
And
be
they're
some
gonna-
kind of gang name for them.
They're
right?
like Red Rover. We call the reactor bot over. Not a lot of options for Wekko in the style of 2 shard 3 resource Ruby removal for a 4 defense troop, but possibly this whole situation could have been avoided.
Yeah.
The Forge of Kadok, the cards in hand. Wekko doesn't necessarily need to attack here because his backswing is devastating, but Thrawn has 4 cards in hand, and at any point he could lay down something scary. At this point in Ruby Wild, you're afraid of Cluckadon, you're afraid of Wrathwood Master Moss, you're afraid of a Shard plus Zakir, you're afraid of a Shard plus a Spirit Oracle is even insane here. Gore Master could be potentially scary, but it wouldn't have the crush.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are coming down the road here that could be bad. With the Wild, with that particular champion, though, yeah, they probably have them too because they're playing to gain life, make the game last longer. Thrawn's probably stabilized at this point, and this is probably the tipping point where Wekko is maybe not going to be able to push through.
Yeah. So, that Mimiobot, that Mimiobot living the dream and swinging in.
Get in for what?
Yeah. Thrawn has to sit there and go, well, what is this for? And I think I think if you think about it pretty hard, you'll catch on. There's no reason for him to block there, but that 1 damage could mean all the difference. Boulder Toss is a very real and scary threat at this point. Thrawn, I don't know, man. You know what we haven't seen any of? No human deck.
We haven't seen any human decks here on stream yet. That's true.
Yeah.
Not one.
It's all been Ruby something aggro.
We have seen a lot of Ruby.
We
That's
did
for
see
sure.
a very good Mono Sapphire deck. I hope that's still doing well. Compost! This must not be game 1. That Compost, 5 cost, basic action, destroy 2 artifacts or constants. Chooses to destroy Reactor Bot and Electroid, where in this scenario, destroying the Reactor Bot and a Mimeo Bot might have done just as well, actually. The Electroid would no longer be able to swing, but I guess you still have to live in fear of another artifact, another robot or dwarf coming to the field. I think at this point it's probably time to swing. Man, it's hard to say. It is hard to say. Not a lot of fantastic options for Wekko when you're essentially topping every card that you play, right? You're a little bit on your back foot.
This is the glass cannon part of it. Wekko had a very explosive start, which we all saw, but unfortunately, he doesn't really have the staying power, and he's kind of lost a little bit of his combo potential here.
Well, we're looking at, what was it? Somebody was saying he should have destroyed Forge of Kadok with the compost. Maybe? I don't know, because, like, Reactor Bot is scary. He's probably seen his opponent play a Crackling Vortex before. That makes it a 5/5 right off the bat. Even though he's stuck at 2 or 3 by the looks of it, he can easily get out of that.
Yeah, I don't think that the deck really needs a lot of resources, and at least from what we've seen and what I would guess is in the deck, I probably would have taken out the troop as well instead. But certainly something to keep in mind. So we do see the 6th shard now, so this is where we could see a big bomb. It's a crackling bolt to take out the mesmeric hypnoscientist. And we do see Thrawn gaining some more life. And at 18 life against 2 1/1 Mimeo-bots, it's probably pretty tough for Wekko to come back at this point.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, he's going to be taking a lot of damage here. He has no responses. Looks like he's thinking about putting a Mimeo-bot in front, and that's not
a quick action.
That's not a quick action in your hand, Wekko. He is gonna. Yeah, he's looking at it. He's wondering what's going on. Yeah, and now the Rekisaur. Yeah, Wekko, it's a basic action.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's listening to us, but that's what's
I mean, he
going
just dragged his crackling bolt above the handguard, so you guys don't know this. He that's unfortunate.
I like the exasperated drag.
He's like, why was it not working?
Do it.
That would have been okay. No, it's too late for this game. It's too late for this game here. When the game's over, I'll send him a message, but I'm not going to be able to tell him in game for obvious reasons. But he should know that it wasn't the game cheating him there. That wasn't a bug. Basic actions cannot be played during your opponent's turn, so Wekko simply was not able to play it. And he's probably like, well, now I can play it. What's up? Oh.
Wait.
Yeah.
So I might be a complete noob here, but you can click and drag your cards to play them? How far in do you have to click and drag?
I mean, you have to let go of them while they're still clicked, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, where on the board?
I don't know. Magic. I don't play them that way.
Yeah, neither do I. I usually just click them, but I just needed to find out where the boundaries are.
So Wekko chooses to go ahead and pump up the Warbot here. Attack in for 6.
Wow. That is brave.
That is pretty brave, considering that Thrawn's got more power to already come back. That is brave.
and its skid has a huge post-it note on his monitor, and he's written it on his hand. That crackling bolt is amazing. It is, yeah. That is one of the ones, because like everyone's like, well, Burn's quick. Why wouldn't crackling bolt be quick? And it's frustrating. It is kind of weird that it's not. And a second compost. That's... Yep. There's no 4 cost. Well, there's no 3 cost thing I can think of aside from your opponent loses the game for 3 cost. I guess that's Boulder Toss, but Boulder... but it's not really good enough here.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I guess he wasn't going to win if he just sat back and just traded.
It's true.
Like, what is he going to get off the top of the deck that's going to end up beating a Sting Troll? Like,
yeah. So it looks like this will finish. It's hard to tell if this is game 2 or game 3, but with only, like 4 or 5 minutes left in the round? Yeah, bolt does imply quick. Like, it's a lightning bolt. Really, there's 10 minutes left in the round.
No, clearly it's like, a bolt you screw in, that holds a frame together.
Only a tech monkey would say that.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, we're good here.
Or you just read the card and don't get into name semantics. Maybe. But to some extent, it is a fair point. Wekko, of course, being a solid, good person, saying good game, good luck to his opponent. That good luck makes me think this is game 3. Thrawn putting down a Phil Cape he didn't really need to put down here. Just kind of, I still had it. Kind
had
of
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Look, I still had this Phil Cape. Ha Yeah, well, you had the whole game. You had 6 cards more than your opponent because he had a crazy turn 1 and 2.
That's true.
In a world without compost, this could have been a very, very different game. So we'll close that down. We'll head back to the standings for the last 8 or so minutes.